News Hub tonight talked about how furious the health sector is with the decision to drop the Smokefree Generation.
Health experts are lining up to slam the coalition government's plan to scrap our smoke-free goal, saying thousands more people will die, which will end up costing more.
They're also warning the plan to rely on smokers to fund tax cuts is damaging our international reputation. Here's political reporter Amelia Wade.
To say the health sector is horrified is an understatement.
Incredibly shocked and embarrassed for New Zealand.
The respiratory clinicians across New Zealand was that we were appalled.
Absolutely jaw-dropping, honestly. I was horrified. I don't think we saw this coming.
The new government's decision to scrap the plan to reduce the number of cigarette retailers, cut the level of nicotine in cigarettes, and scrap the world-first smoke-free generation, one of the biggest surprises in the coalition agreements.
All three parties had issues with the measures that were passed before the election.
Some online have not been kind, labelling the Health Minister Shane Cigaretti and the Finance Minister Nicotine Willis. Nicola Willis says more people smoking will help pay for her tax cuts.
With about $1 billion there.
And I think
just imagine that being part of your legacy. You know, you get to the end of your career. I mean, like, you think about all, like Helen Clark's legacy is probably working for families and interest-free student loans. You know, these things that are in there. Probably John Key's legacy is how he handled the Christchurch quakes. You know, Jacinda's legacy will be 20,000 New Zealanders alive than should have been if COVID had been handled another way. Nicola Willis's part of her legacy will be, oh yeah, she let kids smoke for another generation or two. Just imagine. And not just her, because it's not a decision for the Minister of Health, but she's the one front-footing it at the moment because it's all about tax cuts. I just can't imagine. We were talking before you came on, Chewy, about morals and how much would it cost you to give up your morals. And like, it's every expert saying, what the fuck? I mean, it's actually, the more, we said this last night, the more I think about it, it's profits over people. And it is actually the quintessential right-wing neoliberal position of profits over people. It's literally that. So this is my opinion, yeah? So they're fucked. This is national no matter what. They're embarrassed no matter what. Now, they could have chosen to back down on their tax cuts, but rather than that embarrassment, they're going to let more people die from cancer. They'd rather take that embarrassment of more people dying than having to come to the nation and go, look, guys, I know we promised this. It's a coalition. We can't do it. We're going to change it. That's what they're choosing. They're actively choosing to be embarrassed by more dead people who are paying for their tax cuts than to change the tax cuts. It's utterly, I don't know, it's deplorable, it's disgusting, it's immoral, it's wrong on so many levels.
They'd get a little bit more pain if they go, hey, look, once we got in, we realized that, like, the tax cuts, we're not going to make it through the coalition agreement. You know, New Zealand First Act, both not for it. We took a good look at the sums. We couldn't make it work without the linchpin of it, the foreign buyers tax. So although we campaigned on it, we can't deliver it in this term.
Yeah. Just
say that. Can't deliver it in this term.
Or
keep part of what we'll campaign on in 3 years.
You know, or just say, I mean, they could just say, look, I mean, you and I were saying this before the election. These promises that you make, it's be much safer, although it wouldn't make as good a bumper sticker to say, this is our intention, but obviously if we have to go in coalition with something, they might be negotiable. But if we have our way, this is what we're going to do. Then they're covered. And right now they could just be going, we can't deliver them all to you, but we will deliver every cent that we can back to you. And that would be an embarrassment to them. But to be honest, it would be an embarrassment with 8,000 more New Zealanders by the year 2040. You know, Jacinda's legacy is 20,000 more New Zealanders. Their legacy is going to be straight away 8,000 fewer New Zealanders from 2040. Anyway, sorry, yep.
As Kiwi Rob here says, yes, the left would still complain if they did it.
But that's what I'm saying.
People are going to complain anyway. Like, this is the thing. When you paint yourself into a corner, though, when you are sandbagging an ideological position because you have said at every stage, no, we're going to deliver tax relief to the low and middle income. Remember, just the low and middle income. We don't talk about the landlords. We're going to do this. This is our policy. You leave yourself no room, and you're given the choice of undoing decades of work of successive governments looking for a particular goal, which is eliminating smoking in New Zealand, and you're trashing that for a garbage tier tax cut. It's a poor choice.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, even if I was taking this ideological position, I think I would rather go, look, on the face of it, we can't deliver it. Our coalition partners, they're not for it either. So this is my promise to you, New Zealand. It is the top order of business next time around.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to get to work to make sure that we can do it. That's more intellectually honest than what they're doing now.
Yeah. But what Kiwi Rob just said is what I just said. They're going to be embarrassed either way. People are going to complain either way, right? They're going to complain about them dropping the tax cuts, or they're going to complain about 8,000 dead New Zealanders. My question is, why the fuck would they go to be complained about with 8,000 dead New Zealanders? What kind of immoral desert do you have to be, empathetic desert of a human being do you have to be, knowing that people are going to complain to go, well, I'd rather they complained about us helping another 8,000 people die than, you know, a bit of egg on our face about tax cuts. So that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
Can you imagine
both ways,
people in the room?
Both ways they're going to get egg on their face. They're chosen to go the way with more dead New Zealanders versus the way of saying to landlords, we can't do it exactly like we said. We'll remember it, and we owe you one next election, but we got no control about what our coalition partners want us to do. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, well, let's keep going with the story, eh?
I think to have that in one sentence, that we're going to actually collect revenue from excise tax from a product known to kill people is just a ludicrous statement to make.
It's also expensive in the long run, because even though keeping Kiwis smoking would top up the government coffers by $1 billion over 3 years, Treasury estimated the smoke-free changes about to be turfed would have saved 580,000 health-adjusted life years, because more Kiwis would have lived longer, which would have cut public health costs by $5.2 billion and added $5.8 billion in product.
So they get $1 billion over 3 years. They lose $11 billion. What was that about the party of finance, the party of business, the party of numbers? So here, just to expand on what we've just said, they get egg on their face either way, right? They choose to go the way that causes more New Zealanders to die, and a byproduct of that is they're out by $10 billion extra dollars as well. You know, hello? Just fucking incompetence, man. Just incompetence.
Activity benefits in the coming decade.
Go true.
I was just going to say, it's something that I've criticised them before again. It is short-term sugar hit policy. They don't think outside of the 3-year term.
Yep. Yep. And I've written down in here on my little notes for tonight about a different part of the story. Just talking about, there's so much about all of these policies that they're putting out at the moment and ideas, which is complete culture wars, exactly what you see in the American and the GOP, just culture wars that just kind of feeds a revolting base and gets them fired up and go, yeah, about bloody right, time too. But like we've always said, where are those transformational policies that the whole of the country hangs on to and wants, like a free healthcare system, like social housing, like working for families, like interest-free student loans, the things that we refuse to give up? Where do they come from? They come from the fucking left. The right does the responds to what the left does, and then they try and push back the pendulum the other way, thinking, well, this is what we should do because we do the opposite. Yeah, the opposite's not always right. So the left wanted fewer Kiwis to smoke, and so the right goes, well, we must want more then because we do the opposite. Them left bad, we good. They want fewer smokers, we want more. It's just inane and stupid. I'm going to push play now.
Because there will be more people working and fewer people getting sick and dying.
You know, I don't buy the logic that if the government doesn't do something and people make choices, the government is responsible for those choices.
The government is responsible for our international reputation.
So it's affecting our international reputation as well.
And the coalition stubbing out our smoke-free measures has made headlines from the UK to Australia to the United
this is a good look
States.
Internationally, isn't it?
People are looking at us and are scratching their heads about why this is going ahead.
News Hub asked to speak to both the health and the finance ministers, but were sent off to New Zealand first, and those requests were simply ignored.
Do you get that? Health Minister won't talk about it. Sent off to New Zealand First. Remember what we said last night? Both Christopher Luxon and Nicola Willis were trying to distance themselves from this and saying, oh, it's ACT in New Zealand First. It's ACT in New Zealand First. So I've emailed the Minister of Health, Dr. Reti, and I've said, can we have some time? They won't talk to us, but I've still done it. And now, like big boys and girls media, the ones with money, they're actually saying, can we have, and they're saying no. What, do you think that we're going to, like Christmas is coming and then we're going to forget about this in January of next year? No one's going to be talking about it. Dr. Reti, former Northland GP, looking after Māori, and I'm sure getting as many people off the ciggies as possible was a part of your oath to be a medical professional. And now this is going to be your, how's this for a legacy for a doctor? More tobacco in the country. Here's my legacy.
As were repeated attempts with National. This may not be National's policy, but they are now responsible for it and won't be able to ignore a furious health sector for long.
So let's talk about Dr. Shane Reddy. Yeah, he probably was. What was he? He was a GP for many years, but now he invests in private medical clinics in an area with rundown public health. That then has to farm out its services to government funding. So really, is it in his benefit to have better health outcomes? Or is it better for his stockholders and his investment that he's getting government funding because people keep on getting sick and there's no public health service or underfunded public health service where his clinics are?
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing with these guys. It's like you follow the money. Like they're all like, fuck. I mean, we lashed, what was it, Michael Wood, for his dumbass investments and that sort of thing, and he was roundly criticised for it, and fair enough. Like it was stupid. This is stupid and mean. They're all standing next to their tobacco lobbyists. They've got private health clinics, all of this sort of stuff. And once again, it draws a big fucking arrow to vulnerable communities, Māori and Pacific people that tend to smoke more and that sort of thing. And we just go, well, fuck you. You know, it's just so bald-faced. And honestly, I thought that they would get like 6 to 9 months in of trying to be that, oh, yes, no, we are the government for everyone, even if you didn't vote for us. Like this 100 days thing is just like, we're going to see a mini budget apparently before Christmas. We're going to see how mean they can get.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
just going to come out the gates.